Well. Welcome in one and all to a very special edition. I don't even know if this is called the Cirque du Soleil show. This is an offshoot, and we have not done one of these where we sit down semi-long form with a very special guest. No Danny Bayless today. It is just my brother and I. My name is Michael Sirois. I will be one of the two main hosts getting you through this. And 8 feet to my left, it's my only brother in the whole world. My big brother, you may say, it's Cash Sirois. Hey, Cash.
What's up, big boy?
How are you?
I'm good.
Our guest didn't even know this, but I borrowed Cash's car today so I could look cooler upon pickup. And, dude, that shit is the smoothest ride. I was going 90 plus, didn't even feel it.
Yeah.
An incredibly lovely vehicle.
It's a high-performance vehicle that, if you don't... Fun fact, you should use... what's the speed thing?
Sport mode?
No, what's the speed? The speed thing where you hold your speed. Cruise control.
Jesus
you should
Christ.
use cruise. I know. I started early, dude. Just give me a break. Cruise control, because if you don't, you will be doing 95 and not know.
It's fantastic. If you want to hear fun banter like this, you can listen to the normal Cirque du Soleil show every Tuesday and Thursday night, 8 to 10 live. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitch. Releases podcasts, all that. But today is a very special edition because my brother's here. I'm here. Danny Bayless is not here. Madigan is here.
Hey.
And sitting between my brother and I is the cool mountain breeze himself. It is Keanu Soto from Big Brother Season 27. Look at this man. America's effing favorite.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you. Also, wait, hold up real quick before we move on. Which car is yours out there?
The Jeep.
Oh, okay.
But there's a problem with the brakes.
Jeep's not out there.
I didn't see any ducks on the dash, so you must suck.
No.
Okay, my girlfriend. Okay, wait. Where's this
Jeep
mic strut?
driver.
This is a good
No,
stuff.
whose is the Jaguar? Because that's what I would have really been impressed with.
Okay, that's
Also
That's
mine.
also yours.
Texas.
Okay, yeah, you got the cool car collection.
You should meet his wife. She's cool too.
the deadbeat brother came to pick you up. The two sweet cars. I have a Jeep and the brakes are a little screwed up, and I'm like, dude, I got to go all the way up to McKinney. Let me borrow your car, so we don't
No, I'm a big Jeep guy.
kill
I
her.
drove a Jeep for a while.
Don't pity him.
So why
I
that?
drove a Jeep for a while.
What do the ducks mean? Because my girlfriend thinks they mean swingers, and everyone wants
I'm
me
gonna
to
keep it real. I never got any ducks either, but
Okay, thank you.
It just means
but
friendship.
it just, as far as I know, it just means like, hey, I like your Jeep.
That's
Exactly.
100% correct.
But there are regular duck drops, like on my door handle.
Oh, are there really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I don't put them up. I don't put them up on my thing because I don't know what club I'm getting into here.
Yeah,
Upside down
when you do that,
pineapple.
you gotta put it upside down.
For those who know Keanu, you're probably pretty stoked that we have him here with us on Cirque. He is a DFW resident, and he, again, won America's favorite house guest in the most recent season of Big Brother 27. He was my household's favorite cast member for sure. And once we heard after it started, we're like, dude, this guy's awesome. Shit, he lives in McKinney. We also found out you're a Miami native, which I told you in the car ride. My brother and I are Miami natives who found our way to DFW. So that's what I want part of this to be. We're gonna whip you with Big Brother questions, and I do want to give you an option here because we are going to get into some areas
Before
where
you start, my safe word is bubblegum.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? There's actually going to be... We're going to give you your safe.
Yeah, to your left is a trophy that we have. It's the Golden Spatula. We award it to fine restaurants and eating establishments here
The
in
best
DFW.
dining establishments in DFW. But we've only given away 2.
But for today's purposes, we're going to call that the golden power of spatula.
Okay.
So if we ask you something that you're either not allowed to talk about or really don't want to talk about, at any point, unlimited use,
Got it.
you can play your golden power of spatula, and we'll just like move on to the next thing.
Well, let me tell you how excited I am to be holding this big statue and not this fucking tiny one. I thought you guys were going to give me this one. I was like, really? That's what I get?
We have a whole bag of
We got
those.
a whole pack.
So if you do,
Here, you can
Yeah, pee feel.
Oh, the batteries.
Fill it,
Hey, the battery
fill it up.
died. I'm
Battery
sorry.
fill it
a
up.
lot of
Take
stuff in
take a
studio.
shot of piss out of
From
that.
pee feature.
I think we did try to put vodka in this water feature before.
That's
the last
hilarious.
water feature, then we broke it.
Yes,
We
rest
did-
in
apparently
power.
it doesn't work.
That is hilarious.
So I don't know, man. We're gonna wild ride this thing and just figure it out because we do think you're a cool dude. We like that you live in DFW. And I think we'll do this toward the middle or end. I'm most interested in how a regular dude,
Yeah.
you know, who's been successful doing your own thing, But that 3 months ago, I could have been in line with at Chipotle and thought nothing more than, look at that hair. That's a handsome man. But I wouldn't have thought anything else. And now
the feelings would have been mutual.
Exactly. I wore the hat just for you. So you wouldn't have
You
to
should see what's under it.
just
It's
see. Oh, he
bad.
knows. He vetted us when we asked him to be on the show. He's like, these guys look
Benjamin
fucking insane.
Franklin.
He's like, I can hang with these guys. So anyway, I think that part is almost more interesting, being just one of us that now find yourself thrust into this crazy ass world. But we do kind of have to start at the beginning. And I know this is an odd one for you. It's basically how you get on the damn show. And I know it's different for everybody, but how you find yourself as someone who's aware of the show, not a huge fan, to suddenly.
Dude, I didn't even know about the show until I got hit up for it.
So they hit you up? Is that? And
Yeah, I imagine the only reason I even got a text or a message to be on the show was because I was a fitness influencer, which I had spent a lot of time doing before that. A lot of people don't know this, and they think like, oh my God, Keanu got 270,000 followers from being on Big Brother. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I built my following up to about 100,000 before I even got asked to be on the show. So I had never heard of it before. I had, a recruiter reach out and be like, hey, have you ever heard of this show? And I was like, absolutely not. Never.
No
and I didn't even care to be on reality TV or anything like that. But one of the girls that goes to my recurring Saturday classes that I have at a hidden gym in Allen, shout out,
Yeah.
on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now I have like a huge influx of people.
I hope so.
But anyway, it's open to the public. Anyway, I read it out to her. I was like, hey, have you ever heard of a show called Big Brother? And she like stopped like in the middle of traffic. No bullshit. Turns her hazards on. She's like, I'm not moving till you answer them back. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So I answered back like, hey, I'm interested. What do I have to do? Blah, 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 whatever. And she was like, I've been watching that show since like season 1.
Right.
And you definitely have what it takes to at least be on it and probably be pretty decent at it, at least from a competitive standpoint. So you better answer that. And so she's probably the only reason
No shit.
I even
that you
ended up
happen
on
to
the
be with when you got that text.
Yes.
Do you? And again, golden spatula. Anytime you want, if there's something you can't answer. Do you? It couldn't have been completely random. Were they just combing fitness influencers? Do you think there was someone who was on the show or was close that knew you, referred you, or was it really just saw your posts and said, this guy looks interesting and has got the good look?
Well, from what I understand, this isn't even like anything. From what I understand, when you're casting to be on a show, just in general, you have like your kind of I don't know if you want to call them like stereotypes or like they kind of fit a mold that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they were just looking for a relatively handsome dreadlocked fitness influencer, and I just happened to fit that mold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And obviously,
We have
very
one-
humble as well.
We have one box unchecked. we got everybody else figured.
Must acquire.
Oh my God. Yeah, but so I imagine that's what like got me through the like in the door. But then when I started doing like a couple of interviews and things like that, well, then it came out that I'm like, there's a lot more to me than just the whole fitness thing. Like, I like D&D. I'm a huge nerd. I got Star Wars posters in my living room. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is not just in my office, guys. That is in my living room.
I've heard you say that before too, that you think that those quirks or whatever, the D&D thing, because they pub the shit out of that throughout the whole show.
100%. Yeah.
It's like they figured that out. They heard that and they're like, that is a differentiator that makes you not just a buff, handsome dude, whatever. That is something we want to capitalize on. And they did. So that seemed to be a priority to them in the casting process and the interviews.
Right. Yeah. So, and then doing all the little voices and all that stuff, like they loved that shit, dude. They loved it. So whenever people ask me like for advice during the casting process and things like that, I was like, yo, hammer down those 1 or 2 things that make you who you are, that make you different from the guy standing next to you in the grocery store or whatever, and really hammer those things down, because that's what they're really going to feed into. So, there's a couple people out there that think, oh, I'm going to be on Big Brother, this and that. And then like, I'm all right, dude, what's the one thing that's really interesting about you? Oh, I've been accounting for 25 years. Like,
Cool.
Yeah, dude, you got a real good chance.
Good luck with all that.
Maybe apply on the other end of the show.
So, yeah. At what point did you had to do some homework on the show if you were not a fan or whatever? So at what point in the process or was it immediately once they showed initial interest that you're like, oh shit, I guess I better find out what this thing's all about and what I need to do? Or how many stages were there before you were like, okay, seriously, I am a very serious contender to be on this thing.
Yeah.
And I got to do some homework.
Once I did my first interview and like saw how excited the first person that they're like, there's a couple gatekeepers. You know what I mean? You got to get through a couple people before you start talking to the big dogs.
Yeah.
And the very first person I talked to was very like enamored with me and was like, "Oh my God, you're going to be on the show. Trust me." And I was like, "Okay, well, what do I have to do if I actually want to be on the show?" They're like, "Oh, you have to watch a season, this and that." So, I was like pretty much all in, even though it wasn't a guarantee. I actually did enjoy the show when I started watching it.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah. And then as I became a fan of the show, like whether I went on the show or not, I would have watched this season. You know what I mean? And I would have watched it intently.
God, I got so many. I cannot wait to get to this season part. We're not there yet.
But yeah, so I did that, and then I studied my ass off. Like, and I know that like for the hardcore fans that are like the live feeders and stuff like that think I played a horrible game and this and that from a social standpoint. I could see why they think that. Admittedly, I did not play a very good social game. And I think a lot of that has to do with because I studied so much. I think I studied the wrong things so much. So, for example, one of the things that I really picked up on while I was watching, some of my favorite seasons were like Derek's season 16 with him and Cody, season 20 with Casey and Tyler. Those are two of the seasons that really stuck out to me. And like when you go back and watch those seasons, it's like, all right, cool. Divide the house, win HOH, take shots, and just keep going back and forth taking shots. You have your number one in the house. You stay loyal to that no matter what. And like those were the things that I picked up on. So when my season was not like that, honestly, I didn't know how to adjust because I hadn't seen enough of the show, or I had seen a lot of the show. And I kind of innately knew that the landscape would change, but I just think that me as a person, when I get married to an idea, that's it. Like, that's gospel. And that's definitely not how you need to play Big Brother. But to me, that's what it was, and that's how it stayed through the entirety of the game. And that's really ultimately what kind of bit me in the butt.
I think that's really, really interesting to think about, to be introspective in that way, because I think that's really good advice in life. And obviously in the game, when you watch Big Brother, you think every person that watches it thinks of that is so obvious, or I would not have done that.
Right.
But then secondarily, what you just said right there about being married to your own thoughts and being steadfast, that's cool sometimes.
Yeah.
But then you got to pivot sometimes.
Right.
And going back, and I didn't even want to get into the show this quickly, and you can bounce back out if you want to in a second, Mikey. But I mean, when you autopsy your own performance, is that lack of being able to pivot and move a little bit, especially in the first half of the game, what you most take out of what you wish you did differently?
I think, the short answer is yes. I wish that I would have been able to recognize when I needed to pivot a lot quicker. And also I wish I would have listened to my own intuition a lot more. So there was things about my intuition that I listened to, like things that like I felt the need to like forgive Vince for, personal reasons, like actual personal in my own real life reasons.
Yeah.
It made it very hard for me to want to abandon him, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah.
Even though I knew I should have. So that's something that I should have listened to. But also, like, there would be times during the game that I would be like, well, I'd be strategizing with somebody. I'd be like, yo, if I have all the information according to you, this should be the only play that we should be making right now. So why aren't we making it? And instead of thinking like that, I'm like, well, he has all the information, or they have all the information they need to make the right play. They are obviously not giving me all the information, so I should then adapt and recognize that. You know what I mean? And those are things that I think about in hindsight, where I'm like, damn, the answers were in front of me the whole time. I just refused to look at them because I was always just married to my own like initial ideas.
What's the first example of that you think of? I'm sure there's a big one that you think.
100%. I know all the people, the misogynist out here. Oh, the misogyny. God, give it a rest, guys. Oh my God. But that would be the most prominent one, would be, that in the beginning, it was, Jimmy tried to sully my name, at least initially with Ashley, in terms of telling her that I started the whole Showergate thing and this and that. And that kind of already caused a divide between me and Ashley, who, to be honest, I didn't see very much at the beginning of the game, because she was because of the whole Showergate thing, she was constantly being called into the diary room and this and that.
I want to get into that.
So like I never actually, like, I had a chance to develop a relationship with almost everybody in the house except her. So like on top of the fact that I already didn't have a relationship with her because I was just like not seeing her as much as everyone else, then Jimmy's going back and telling her that I started this and that. You know, we were already kind of divided on that front. And then as the week kind of progressed, remember, this is only like week 1. As the week kind of progressed, the landscape kind of at least looked to me like it was like Jimmy and the girls versus like Kelly and the guys. And like once that became like the divide in the house in my brain, I never adjusted.
Yeah.
I never adjusted. I never looked at it until like maybe week 5 or week 6 when like half the guys were already gone home.
Yeah, and you're like,
I didn't look at it any different way.
Yeah.
So that was a huge fault that I had. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, he never listens to the women. I was like, well, guys, in my brain, it was the guys versus the girls. Why would I, you know, listen to someone that wants me out? And what's crazy to me is when I go back and look at clips, it's not like they were telling me the truth the entire time.
Of course.
They wanted me out too.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I can understand why you would be upset that I wouldn't listen to them. But honestly, had I known what they were saying behind my back, I wouldn't have listened to them anyway.
Right.
So what the hell are you guys talking about?
I am surprised that you lasted as long as you did thinking.
Story of my life.
Sorry, bro. Hate to bring it up. You can use the thing anytime you want.
Yeah, golden spatula, Cash. God.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt as I was watching you that you were alienating yourself sometimes.
Oh, 100%.
In that you didn't, let's put it this way. When I was watching you deal with Vince initially and then kind of, you know, have, you know, somebody's like the scorned girlfriend, everybody keeps coming back or whatever. And the question is, why? But then the other question is, what was your other option? Like, I feel like you kind of, because you're kind of comp beast and then not really, I don't know, putting yourself in groups, you kind of had to win in order to stay alive.
Yeah,
and I would think because you're so dominant that, which also gets into Rachel, I would think that somebody that big of a heavy hitter, everybody would be smart enough to be like, yeah, that one's got to go.
Right.
So it was surprising to me that you kind of, I thought, overstayed the length that I thought you were going to have, and then almost maximized it.
Yeah, I mean, I was like one mistake away from winning.
Yeah.
But anyway, or at least I think it would have been one mistake away from winning. But anyway, you'd said something interesting there, and I actually didn't really realize this until I did a deep dive with Taryn from Rob Has a Podcast. Mm-hmm. So you said that I alienated myself. And it's funny because when I stood up and told everybody, you know, Jimmy was like, "Oh, sit down. You know, this is your moment. You know, you're not going to get any more." And I was like, "Oh, you know, this is your moment. My moment is going to be." Essentially, when I stood up and said that, I said, "My moment is going to be winning the game." Is basically what I was trying to say, but I used the terminology "picking you off one by one." And so when I stood up and said that, like I said, what I said in my brain was my moment is going to be when the confetti falls and I win the game. Right. Now, what Taryn had told me was if my social standing in the game at that point was so low that me saying something like that was taken extremely confrontational. Whereas, and he literally used this example, whereas someone like Zach, who had a great standing socially in the game at that point, you know, if he says something like that, it's just like, "Oh, Zach."
They would have been laughing.
"Oh, Zach, you stop it, you jokester. You jokester, you get out of here with that nonsense." But me, it was like, "Oh, really? Well, now we're coming for you." So, you know, and it's funny because part of the reason why I said that was because it was partially intentional. Like, I wanted to create a big target for myself to take you know, the scent off of the people that I thought I was working with. But obviously that backfired because I technically at that point really wasn't working with anybody, you know, unbeknownst to me.
Right.
To me, I thought I was with Riley, Vince, Kelly, Adrian. You know, I thought I had them for sure. Yeah. You know, and I didn't want it to be a thing where I was like constantly being up there with Kelly and Adrian, and you know, which ended up happening anyway, and that also speaks to my inexperience with the game, and also the format of the game in this particular season. You know, there had only ever been 3 nominations before, and to my knowledge, I think season 17, I believe it was, had the Battle of the Block, so there was technically 4 nominees. So it had the format is kind of new, almost kind of to everybody, but to me, I didn't realize that, like, okay, well, the people that are associated with me really don't want to be associated with me because there's not only 1 nomination, there's 2, right? 2 other ones aside from me, and possibly 3. So that's something that I really didn't take into account. Speaks to my inexperience, something that I can rectify in the future, and I definitely plan on doing that. You know what I mean?
Yep. It seemed like that Jimmy thing is what made you everyone's target.
Yeah.
And again, as a viewer, we're like, dude, he didn't say shit, dude. And it's just then you're mad at Jimmy, and you're like, dude, Keanu's getting screwed. And then how? You don't seem like someone who, almost proven, blows their top too often. But I would think you're just stewing. Like, how the fuck did I get involved in this? You're lying.
Right.
I called you out for lying about me.
Right.
And I'm the asshole. And now I'm everyone's target.
Yeah. In that moment, that was definitely a moment of human weakness right there. Whereas, like, you know, obviously throughout the season, you could see that things don't normally get under my skin. And it wasn't that Jimmy was yelling at me or anything like that. I could give two shits. It was that when he said that I was a liar and that everybody said I was a liar, that's what pissed me off. I was like, oh, everybody, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you shocked to hear that? That at least he's saying that, but that's like a high school thing. Like, everybody hates you. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But, you know, at that point, there was already kind of like a couple things that he had done already to me that it kind of like made me upset that I was probably coming for him at that point. But yeah, you know, you're going to sit here and tell me that everyone thinks I'm a liar. I was like, all right, well, if everyone thinks I'm a liar and I'm against everybody, then let's, you know, game on. But with that being said, little side anecdote, I still thought I had those 4 people behind me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, when I said that, I didn't think that I was going to declare war on literally everybody.
You know what I find interesting about that? And I wanted to ask you about specific moments in the show because of how they are perceived and how it changes things, right? And what I mean to say is things that are set up, things that are performative. Like virtually everybody, you know what? I don't notice it for everybody. I didn't necessarily notice it with you, but people have their outfits when they know that they're going to be on. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy was a big, you know, performance gloves, you know, thing, whatever. Rachel, absolutely.
The gown.
So
yeah, what the hell?
Those moments feel very performative for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I think that would make me a little bit insane. And your misstep right there, if it wasn't so spur of the moment, would feel performative. What was Jimmy's thing with the glasses and everything like that?
Oh, so rehearsed.
Right. Like it was so natural the way that you effed up by calling everybody out one by one by one. If I didn't already believe that, I would have thought that was premeditated in some kind of power move, which I know it's not. But then once you've said those things, you can't take that back.
Oh, no, you cannot. No, you cannot.
Didn't you use the defense too of like, we're all trying to get each other out? You know, like, what did I say that was so...
Well, at the time, I didn't even think... Because, like, to me, it was just, like, common sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, guys, I just restated what you're supposed to do in this game.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Yep.
So I never really, like, addressed it in the house.
Right.
But
They
it wasn't
gasped.
until afterwards. Yeah.
Like, what?
It wasn't until afterwards that I was like, oh, God, everyone really took that so personally. Okay, well, guys... Do you not know how to play the game?
Right.
Like, that's what you're supposed to do.
That is something that my brother is very good at in arguments, is that he will say something off the wall, but then back it up with, like, he could get riled up and say something like you said, but then he would do what he just did right there. And you would have to notice that there's some gasps, you know, but I'm sorry, are we all not here to win? I didn't,
Big brother.
I'm not saying anything crazy here, right? Like, in order, somebody's going to have to pick everybody off, so...
Yeah, I think too. I also said, like, at that point, I said my actions speak louder than words. So, at that point, I didn't feel the need to explain myself either. I just let my actions do the talking, and I most certainly did. So.
Yeah. Well, you had to go on that run, and you went on this crazy run. And I do want to get to some comp specifics here in a little bit. And we have some tips and ideas for the ways you can improve some comp.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I'm for it.
Yeah. You didn't
I didn't win all of them, so
100%.
I have one in specific that drove me crazy about
you.
You
notes,
and
Mike.
your technique. Actually, do you have a guess or no?
On my technique,
If I
imagine for the stacking comps.
No.
My stacking comps suck, dude. I suck at stacking comps. My hands are like, at that point too, like when all the stacking comps started coming around, I had already won HOH, and they gave me like Cuban coffee upon request. So I was like,
some Miami style.
Yeah.
Tweezers.
Little
You're
cafecito.
talking about the
oh shit.
My little cafecito. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Did you do the tweezer one? Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude,
Tiny
that to
Vito,
me
that was
is-
the week that I went home.
That makes me oh shit. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Morgan.
I can almost not watch that one because it's so stressful.
Oh my God.
Do you
it was so
remember?
frustrating being in there?
And I told you in the car, like I watched them all, but I don't remember names and stuff. Oh no, it was Tyler, right? The curly hair dude, Tyler, a few years ago. He was doing the mini stack. Christina, my girlfriend, has this saved on her phone to make me laugh. and he puts one down, and he goes, whew, and he blows the whole thing over. And then he just has the fucking 1,000-yard stare. I'm like, that's the greatest self-sabotage in Big Brother history.
Can you imagine the feeling?
I did that one time, and thank God it was only when there was like 2 rows up.
Really?
That one time, and then after every other time after that, I was like,
Really? Okay. Okay. So maybe it's a common failure in that one.
oh God, yeah. I can only. I didn't see obviously anybody else doing it, but if I did it once, I'm sure they did too on accident.
That's like Survivor. Like I would be out on the eating a grub challenge.
Right.
If I was doing that,
No chance. Here, the one
wouldn't
that
even waste everybody's time.
the one that drove me insane, Keanu, was you have to run back in the pit and get the balls and then hang off the thing and
dude.
drop them in the thing.
Are you gonna give me the 2-hander technique?
Yep.
I know, dude.
Jesus,
I know,
F&C.
man.
I'm like, dude, because at that point we're all cheering for you. You're like our guy,
Yeah.
and clearly you're America's guy.
I was happy for Lauren. I was like, give her one.
Okay, fine, but Keanu needed that one.
I
and
know. I know you did.
Oh my god, because I'm like, it sticks to your fingers. You have to do the gentle,
Yeah,
just baby.
dude. I know. I think. All right.
Are you gonna give me the 2-hand thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Trust me. I've already.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've already gotten it from a lot of like, dude. Next time you do that, 2 hands, bro. 2 hands. I think a lot that had to do with that and why I didn't readjust my strategy was so normally I'm very calm, very collected. You know, you guys have seen it. I'll take a deep breath in the middle of a comp. What fucked me up was that Lauren made like 3 in a row.
You start panicking,
And I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
So, like I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna play to my greatest strength, speed.
Yep.
So I was like, you guys don't see this behind the thing because it was live and they didn't show the whole room. Guys, when the competition was over, Lauren had the 4 or 5 that she needed in the bin, right? And then like around the play area, she maybe had like another 10. So for a total of like 15. Kelly, she had like the 2 in the bin that she made and like maybe 8 around for a total of 10. You look at my side, I had like 35.
Okay, so just
Like, go back and watch that episode. I was just like, shoot, drop,
just
run back,
littered.
shoot, drop. Because my strategy was hop in the pit, literally find as many balls as you can,
Push 'em to the front?
to the front.
I love it.
Push them to the front. So I had like 25 balls just waiting for me.
And you're just plucking and then missing.
And I was like,
and you
I
figure
was like,
one arm was long arm.
one arm, long arm, get it as close to it as possible. And then I just never readjusted because I was like, I had done 3 balls. Lauren had done 3 balls. I went 0 for 3. Lauren went 3 for 3. And then she only needed 2 more. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Your problem in that moment,
Yeah.
your problem in that moment was your earlier success in other comps, because your steady hand, old soul Jedi shit always ended up paying
I
off.
appreciate the reference. Yeah, there you go. Very catered to me. Thank you.
Well, it wasn't even on purpose. But the point is that, dude, that slow and steady won you every effing race.
Yeah.
And so you kind of got to keep going with what you got.
Yeah,
So
I definitely got away from it on that one.
So you'd use that technique in the foot tapping one, the slow and steady, the memorization of
the
left, right,
memory bridge, yeah.
right, and that's the one that ultimately led to your big quote. But I love it and I hate it. It's the tortoise and the hare. You're going slow. You're being methodical. You're memorizing it on the way back.
Yeah.
But even I'm going, just go a little
Yeah,
faster.
everybody was losing their shit. And you guys didn't even, like, in the edit, because obviously they didn't live stream that one.
Yeah.
So you guys only saw the edit. Like, guys, I didn't pick up the pace ever. Like, I literally just walked the entire time. And I'm, like, looking. And every single time I played, I was on the side next to all of the house guests. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were never rooting for me.
feel
Not
it.
one time. No one was like, oh, Keanu, you got this.
Yeah.
Nothing. No claps. Every time I walked back, I just looked over there and everyone was just kind of like avoiding eye contact with me or like waiting till I passed them and then I could feel them looking at me.
Oh my god.
It was insane. And like they were probably looking at me like, look at this cocky asshole just
Yep.
walking.
So
And like
slow.
part of that was part of my strategy too, was like I wanted to prove my dominance so they would stop picking me.
Yeah. Because that was probably your low point, I guess, of house
Oh, the lowest point for sure.
Q rating. Like you knew you were fucked if you didn't win that.
Yeah,
thing, right?
100%.
So that's the one that he wins.
Yep.
And then
And it was silence, right? It was no
Ava, yeah.
no
Yeah.
clapping.
Oh,
No,
dude,
that's the-
not a single
just-
clap, dude.
You know what we're gonna ask, so just
Single
tell
clap.
because that's it. I wonder how long that silence was. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
weird. I may have said something close to your quote before you said it because I'm like, this silence has to be cut, and someone has a job to do.
Yeah.
So how'd that play out?
So before Rachel and I squared off on that final round, you know, they tell, you know, whoever's the host is, excuse me, whoever the host is, hey, when so-and-so wins, say this when they win. And then once you win, everybody claps. This is the custom. Everybody claps whether you like them or not. And then the host says, "Oh, congratulations, so-and-so, you have won the Golden Power Veto." And I won. And it was, bro, you could cut through the air with a knife, dude. And I'm like not even exaggerating when I say, and like this is I'm probably like underselling the amount of time. It was like at least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm not even joking, dude. It was just quiet. And so
you're standing.
You know, they edited it. They edited it. Jeez, God, that's
nailed it. Nailed it. Keep rolling.
Edited it to say, I believe you have a prompt, right? But like before that, I was like, yo, if no one's gonna clap for me, let me get the veto so I can go in the house and I'll clap for my damn self.
Yep.
I believe you have a prompt. And so
kept that in. That was good.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even think that was going to be part of the episode or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea. I didn't even know that was a thing, like even remotely close to a thing, until the week that I left. When we get our videos from home, one of my uncles taps my mom on the shoulder during the video and is like, "B, I believe you have a prompt." And and then she like does the whole sideways butt thing. You know, she has the butt pillow and it says, "I love you." Thing. So and even then I saw the video, didn't even pick up on it.
Oh, really?
Didn't even pick up on it. What I gravitated to was like that my mom had the fake butt that said "I love you" on the side, and I started laughing. I got in the diary room, and they're like, "Oh, what do you think about your uncle saying I believe you have a prompt?" I was like, "Oh shit, you're right. He did say that."
That's
and then
Michael.
I realized it was my line.
Yes.
And I was like, that was when I realized, I was like, "Oh shit, they put that in the episode."
Yeah.
Oh damn, and I still didn't even realize how big it was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I got out of the house that they asked me, "Oh, what do you think your most iconic line was?" I remember I haven't gotten my phone back yet. So they were like, "Oh, what do you think your most iconic line was?" I was like, "Oh, probably, standing up, I'll pick you off all one by one." And then later the media team asked me to do like, "Oh, the story behind I believe you have a prompt." I was like, "Oh, fuck, that's the line."
Really?
Yeah.
That's the line that really like got people. So
Because she kind of freaked out about it.
I was going to say the pride that she took in it and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'd never gone off on somebody like that. Like, I own him, all this stuff." I'm like, girl, this is not something to be proud of. Like, you were rude. That's not something to boast about.
yeah, but it's funny because at the time, like I thought of it as like a rude thing too, because I was like, was I upset that nobody was clapping for me? Yeah. And mostly the reason why I was upset was because, during the nomination ceremony, Mickey basically said the only reason Kelly and Riley were up there was because they were associated with me.
Yeah.
And that really kind of pissed me off. I was like, damn, not even because we're like working together. I
Yeah.
mean, we kind of were to a certain degree, but well, actually, unbeknownst to me, we weren't. But then she says because they're associated with me just in general. And that really pissed me off. And I took that super personally. So I was like, damn, no one's going to clap for me. And this is personal. And you know what I mean? All these things started stacking up. I started getting frustrated and just blew my top. So honestly, I thought of it at the time as like, damn, I really feel bad for doing that. I literally, when we got back, I took my 2 minutes to myself to be like, all right, hey, congratulations, homie. You did it. Pat yourself on the back. But I went to literally everybody in the house and apologized for my behavior because that is very out of character for me. I normally don't lose my shit like that. But it just felt so personal to me that I was like, dude, everything was just stacking up. At that point, if I had to put a ratio to it, there's 24 hours in a day. I probably at that point every single day spent about 22 hours of the day by myself.
Jesus, really?
And I would get maybe 10-minute increments from Kelly, just checking up on me, making sure I'm cool. And then like after about 10 minutes, it was almost like, all right, timer's done.
I have to go.
I don't want to be associated with you.
Jesus, really?
Yes.
So you were that persona non grata that for a large swath of time, people were not.
Did not. Vinny would only meet with me at night when everybody was asleep.
How many days would you say that lasted?
Well, it wasn't until the butler punishment that I got from week 5 when Ava was HOH. I would say then people started being a little bit more receptive to me because I was offering them treats.
Yeah,
delicious little snacks. and then they were a little bit more receptive to me and would actually speak to me. But yeah, dude, up until then, I would say like I'm not even an exaggeration. Like 22 hours of the day out of 24 would be pretty much spent alone. And only if I was playing like pool with Lauren and a couple of the guys, just playing pool. As soon as game talk started, that's it. We got to get away from him.
Incredible.
Yeah, dude.
Because you're a nice person, right? But once you get painted within the game as the scarlet letter guy, you're wearing the X,
right?
Then everyone's scared to interact with you strictly on a game basis. But it's like, for someone like you're not mean. If the worst thing you did was say, I believe you have a prompt, which isn't even that bad.
I know. Give him his cake. Like,
I don't think people were really even too upset about that one. I am thankful for having that moment, obviously now, because it's like my line and everyone loves it. So I'm thankful for it now.
You should make t-shirts, maybe.
I have one on.
I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm working for you. I'm working.
The logo, by the way, look, 1 by 1. If you didn't realize it.
Oh, that's what it is. Dude,
it's a crown, and it says 1x1, so 1 by 1.
All right, we'll put a link.
Yeah,
those things are pre-selling right now. That's a dope logo.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right,
thank you. What was I just talking about? Sorry, my ADD just kicked in.
That's okay. We're just shooting the shit.
That doesn't matter.
About everyone hating your guts for 22 hours.
So I believe you have a prompt. I was super thankful for that because it led to a very human moment that I had with Will, where he kind of like just reminded me about, who do I want to be portrayed as? Mm-hmm. Who do I want to be in the game? How did I want to play versus how I am playing? And I don't think by any means that, like, even when I got the butler costume, like, I personally believed at the time that was when my game kind of changed a little bit more socially, and to a certain degree it did, because at least people would tolerate me in conversations.
Yep.
In game.
Nice.
To a certain degree it did change. But yeah, that conversation with him kind of reminded me, like, going into the house, I believed my superpower to be being able to connect with people and be able to build relationships and talk to people. And, as a personal trainer, that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was kind of hard for me to have to revert back to, matcha, alpha male, back against the wall. Because that's not normally how I operate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
do you feel like there's moments like Will, for instance? He was awesome. He got a funny edit where he's just kind of the unk chilling in there, and like these people just won't shut up, all this stuff. But he seems like someone that you could have in a parallel universe worked so well with.
Yeah.
To where even when you're mid game and you're on the outs, like you said you were, do you think within the game Big Brother of taking guys like Will and taking a moment and creating something new that I understand you're with them, I'm with no one. But is that constantly on your mind of, can I burrow in with someone like this who's clearly a good person and start something new? Because you never effing know who's going to win and how this shit's going to play out.
Right.
Like, do you try to make those inroads with someone who you don't really have a game relationship with?
Okay, so knowing what I know now, you should. Yeah. You should do those things.
Yep.
A moment like that definitely opened the way for me to be able to have that deeper relationship with Will. But my perception of the game never really changed. So earlier when I said it was like Jimmy and the girls, Will kind of was lumped up into that in my brain as well, because really early on, we don't have to get into too much about like why I ended up being against like Mickey and Morgan and stuff like that. But essentially Morgan and I had a conversation well after I had already had kind of like conversations with a lot of people in the house in terms of like who I wanted to work with and stuff like that. I think Morgan was just somebody that like I could see gravitating towards a lot of other people other than myself. Yep. So we didn't really have that like, hey, would you like to work together kind of conversation. We ended up having it a lot later. And during that conversation, she told me that Will had felt the need to tell her who I was wanting to work with, and that she wasn't a part of that group of people that I had mentioned. So like, already kind of Will had rubbed me the wrong way, where I was like, damn, why'd you out me like that?
Yeah.
Like before I even had a chance to have a conversation with her. Like that was, so, that was something that I kind of didn't like that he did, and something that I kind of never forgot about.
Yep.
And it was like, all right, well, I couldn't trust him because of that. In the grand scheme of things, that wasn't a reason not to trust him for the entirety of the game.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But as the weeks went going on and we weren't continuing to work with each other, it just made it easier to continue to not work with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but anyway, that was honestly that whole conversation with Morgan was how that whole thing with Jimmy started, because I had told Morgan during that conversation, like, yeah, I would love to work with you and Mickey. I grouped them together because they were always in the kitchen with each other and hanging out. And I would love to work with you guys. I did mention that Jimmy was someone that I didn't want to work with because for the reasons I stated earlier. And right after that conversation, I saw her walking in the yard with Jimmy. literally holding hands.
Yeah.
And I had already thought, okay, that's a little weird, but I didn't think anything past that other than it was a little weird. I went to sleep, woke up the next day. Jimmy didn't give me a hug in the morning. As a matter of fact, it was very like standoffish, like get away from me sort of thing. And I was like, oh shit, is this because of Morgan? And it wasn't until I went back and watched the episodes that it was Ava that told him that I said he was a snake or whatever.
Right.
And I didn't even say he was a snake. I said he was the head of the snake, meaning like the head of the other side of the household, So I guess maybe terminology, I shouldn't have used head of the snake. I just felt like that was kind of an easy term to kind of throw out there.
Yeah.
God, it's so fascinating how just little remarks
little
can
things
get
like that.
spiraled into God knows what, whether or not they're true.
Yeah.
Sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. Who you can say something true to and know if it's going to just go to everybody else or not. It's just a fascinating game.
Ava, of all people, at that time, something that really bothered me when I went back and watched the episodes, to be completely transparent, was I think in episode 1, Ava says something about like, oh, he's like a stalker or something like that. Yeah, it refers to me as a stalker, and I was like, damn.
He's checking on you.
I was like,
and
that's
making
how
sure
you
you're,
feel.
Like, included.
Thank you. Okay? So you picked up on that. The live feeds weren't even on, so I was like, I could see why people might think like that, because the live feeds weren't on. But like the first 4 or 5 days, like Ava was very quiet, very to herself, spending a lot of time alone. It wouldn't be weird to catch her in the wine room drawing on the pillows by herself. So like I would see that and I was like, well, damn, I don't want anyone to feel how ironic is this? I don't want anyone to feel ostracized. So I went out of my way to like every hour on the hour, I'd be like, where's Ava? Let me just make sure that she's okay. She's, and then for her interpretation of what I was doing to be like, oh, he's stalking me. I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? So
and they do the edit where you were just walking like 5 straight doors, and it looks so bad.
Yeah, they really did not do me any favors with that edit.
So
it was frustrating because as the extrovert that seeks the introvert in the room, that I always want to make them feel included. That's how I perceived it as. And then
thank you. Well, I'm glad at least it got.
I was like, I think he's just trying to be nice, and she just was overwhelmed by it, I guess. But off of that, if I could ask a quick question,
yeah, please.
I wanted to ask what you thought the biggest disease was in the house between jealousy and sensitivity.
I would say sensitivity. I feel like the common thing online right now is everyone wants me to do the challenge because it's a social game too, and the competitions are much more physical. They feel like I would thrive in that, but also I feel like a lot of people have this idea that I would probably thrive more in a game where people aren't like so sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't know why they get that idea.
Yeah, because I always thought, like, are they jealous because he's stronger, because he's faster, because he can do this? Or are they, like, getting their feelings hurt because he's playing the game they wanted to be able to play?
I don't know if necessarily I was playing the game that they wanted to play. I think that a lot of people just got... I just don't know if they're comfortable with someone who has a lot of confidence. And I think that really intimidated a lot of people. I will never bet against myself. Like I don't care if I would have had to win out like from week 1 all the way to the end. I'd have been like, fucking game on, let's do it. And I know that's not how you're supposed to play the game.
No, that's hard.
So
That's
so
the hard way.
in hindsight, maybe don't play that way. But I did show that I had a lot of confidence, and a lot of people in the house are like, oh, he's so arrogant. And I'm just like, fucking blow it out your ass, dude.
Yeah.
But if you were like, oh, I suck. I'm so bad at this game. Then everyone would be like, pussy. So it's like, what do they want? Like, I'm
Actually, no, they console those people in the house because there's quite a few people that did talk like that.
True. That's
we're
true.
probably going to get into some of that kind of stuff behind the scenes in a second. But since you brought it up and being a big personality, I got to ask you this question. What the fuck's with you and Rachel?
Like outside of the house?
No, I'm talking about, well, I mean both, but I mean...
Yeah, both, because it was...
Big personalities. I would be of the opinion that, again, we kind of said this earlier, if I was a regular player, I think I would get the only person that has played this thing before and a big personality the hell out of here, the same way that I might get the person that is unbeatable at comps out of there.
Right.
So where you're... I don't mean to say it this way. That's why I just asked the question that I did. But why were your personalities too big, maybe, to actually be able to coexist? Or was it too late in the game before you even figured it out? Just what the fuck is with you and Rachel?
So at least as it pertains to me and Rachel, like why I wanted to take her to the end, You know, and some people again will say this is arrogance, but for me, it's like if I'm gonna win, I want it to have some sort of meaning. Like I don't want to win against somebody that, you know, essentially got carried to the end or something, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I want to be and like this is just how I think. Like if I'm gonna be a part of the world, and I was talking to you, Mike, earlier. Like if I'm gonna be a part of the reality TV space, I don't want to just be in it. I want to dominate. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm going back and looking at the live feeds. How can I adjust my social strategy? I want to be good. Like it's not just I don't want to just be a part of it. I want to win. I want to be dominant. So a part of that was like I wanted to take Rachel to the end because I was like, oh, well, if I want to be a legend, I want to beat a legend, right? So that was a huge part of why I wanted to take her there. Now, you know, like I said, I was an extreme newbie, as she would say it, to the game, and I didn't really know how to play it that well. So it was very hard for me to kind of understand how to coexist with someone who also had like a very large type A personality. Yeah. And that's ultimately what made it difficult for us to kind of like coexist together because, you know, it's very easy for people online to say like, oh, you know, your perception of the game is all wrong. You should have listened to Rachel. I was like, well, guys, you know, should I have listened to her? Duh. Like in hindsight, yeah, I should have probably never had an opinion about anything and listened to her exclusively. Duh. I know that now. When I was inside the house, like I was so true to Vince and Rilley, not because they're my bros, like everyone online seems to think, but like on day 2, I made a final 3 with them. And remember, guys, like when I studied for the show, like what really stood out to me were those like iconic like duos like Tyler and Casey and
day 1
and the
final
Hitmen.
2.
Day 1, day 2, final 3s, final 2s. So like those were my guys. I was gonna ride to the end with them. I would even sing little jingles in the shower about how we would make it all the way to the end. You know what I mean? And so that's what I stayed true to. So anytime Rachel tried to bring me some sort of like information, you know, I would always check in with Vince, and that's what drove people crazy. Oh, he feels the need to tell everybody everything. I was like, well, I didn't really tell everybody everything. I told Vince everything because I thought Vince was with me 100%. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you know, not to get too much into like my own personal life or anything like that, but you know, people always get driven crazy, like, oh, why wouldn't you get rid of him even though he lied to you and this and that? And it was like, you know, there's a lot of parallels between him and one of my real life brothers, and I would never abandon my real life brother. And I felt the same way about Vince. So, you know, and it took me until getting out of the house and see how much he really didn't mess with me at all, for me to realize like, oh yeah, okay, I'll never make that mistake again. Like even if I do have some sort of like sibling-esque kind of relationship where it reminds me of them, they are not them. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no blood involved for them. It's all water to them.
As a viewer, and again, I'm not live stream guy or any of that stuff, but when I was asking you about Rachel, it seemed to me that in the edit, she also made it difficult sometimes and would, you know, turn the corner and act in a way that made it difficult to keep working with her. Did I read that wrong, or was that? Are you taking total ownership of that? That you didn't listen to her all the time? No, duh, you just said that. Or were there times where she would flip a switch? Because that's the way that it felt from a viewer.
I mean, when I go back and have watched, you know, I haven't seen too many of the episodes like in the edit. I've seen a lot more like the live stream kind of breakdowns and stuff like that. You know, Rachel wasn't always 100% for me either. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like these people that are on the online that are like, oh dude, you should have listened to her 100% if you would have just stuck with her from the very beginning. My ass. Yeah. Have you heard the shit that she was saying about me before week 4?
When Jimmy was still in there?
Yeah, when Jimmy was still in there, she cared more about him. So like one of the strategies that I told Vince of was like, yo, we got to get Amy out. And then once Amy get out and she kind of hitched her wagon to Jimmy, I was like, we got to get Jimmy out. And then we might, and remember, I was including Vince because everything that I did included Vince. I was like, and then we can take Rachel. Then we can actually have her 100%. So like the whole game up until like Jimmy went out was predicated on getting Amy first out because Amy was her like ride or die. Yeah. And I really wanted to work with Rachel, but I didn't want to work with Amy at that point because she was so close to Ashley as well, and me and Ashley were just like oil and water. Yeah. And so wanted to get Amy out first, and then once she hitched her wagon to Jimmy, then we wanted to get Jimmy out. But then once we already got Jimmy out, then that's what kind of when we started kind of going back and forth with the bickering stuff. And you know, I could be wrong here, but I feel like a lot of those fights were a lot of kind of like TV manufacturing
Performative.
moments.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
earlier.
performative stuff.
Yeah.
And like for me, like I wasn't, am I thankful for the, limited amount of fame I currently have? Absolutely. But it's not like I went in there and was like, yes, I want to be America's favorite. I want to manufacture these iconic moments. I wasn't like that. So when I could see people trying to manufacture those things, especially at my expense, I was like, get the actual fuck out of here.
Stop trying
That
to
is
get
not
clipped.
going to happen.
Like everyone's just trying to get clipped and quoted,
Right.
especially Jimmy and Ava. I was like, stop trying to go viral and play the game.
Yeah, dude.
Well, that's exactly why you won America's Favorite Player, because the masses see through that. They're, they view things a little more accurately than those other people are performatively acting them out in their heads.
Yeah,
so
weren't
your
talking to the
genuine
cameras.
reactions, even if they are not the kindest, like you had a couple examples of, doesn't matter. That's genuine, and that's what ultimately wins in the end.
Yeah.
Plus, Rachel has her own self-interest in mind with all of her advice to you. You know?
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Let's not forget that.
And that's the game, and she should.
Right.
Yes.
I would love to be in a position that she is in. We're like, I've done this. Let me help you.
Yeah.
And everything I'm saying is what ultimately is going to help me.
Right.
Right.
So anyone who says you should have listened to
truth from
her
her lens.
What? Listen to the expert.
Right.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and yeah, I mean, I totally understand that. And, she had played before and she had won before. So
She mentioned that a few times.
yeah, just a few times. And
What was her name again? She never said it.
God.
I believe she met her husband on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They have the first babies from first
Yeah.
marriage.
Yeah.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I wonder if she's big on showmances, if she's sports. There.
Okay, you guys might be friends in real life, and I don't know that answer. I think she's annoying as hell.
Nah, dude. In the house, I adored the
Really?
Yes.
They don't show that much. They don't show a lovable Rachel. They show a very loud, often bedazzled and sequence gowned.
That's
very
her-
loud, very.
That's her TV
That's her. Yeah, that's her
personality.
TV persona, though.
It's a TV show, though.
I loved having Rachel in the house. So I would say, in no particular order, I would say my favorite house guests, at least to like speak to, Kelly, Adrian, Riley always made me laugh super hard, and Rachel. And I loved speaking to Rachel because she's been in the game for 15 years. So she always has stories, man. Always has stories. So like basically Rachel was like, at least for me, always felt like watching television. When I was bored as fuck, I'd be like, yo, tell me about that one
Amazing
time
Race.
you went on the Amazing
Turn
Race.
on the
your
Rachel
second
show.
time, and what was your favorite leg of that race? And then she has like these crazy stories. We were in a balloon, a hot air balloon, and then we did this and did that. And I was like, dude, I could talk to her for hours in there. So it was great having her in the house. I loved it.
But she's a chill, calm person sometimes, because I understand they don't show much of that on
Yeah.
the CBS version of the show. It just, I have a hard time looking at that and think that's someone who I would love to spend a lot of time with.
You know what it is that I used to be a head trainer for a like predominantly female boot camp, and which the demographic were like moms. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of her and like the way my interactions with her really kind of reminded me of that, kind of like our little playful banter and stuff like that really reminded me of that. So I really enjoy talking to her. I really do. Now outside of the house, we don't really speak as much because like we're two totally different people. You know what I mean? Like she's got kids, she's this other job where she recruits people for other shows and things like that. Like she's got her whole thing going. So like we don't really have much in common outside of the house. So we don't really speak that much unless it's like business related. So so that's how our relationship is. But inside the house, I loved speaking to her.
That's reassuring to hear.
I wanted
she's
her
great to be a good person so bad.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I love a big personality. Don't get me wrong, but I'm like, please have a
Yeah,
soft
she's
spot.
great. No, definitely. Yeah, I don't know how she's edited in the show, but I know a little bit of her TV persona, and I imagine if they showed that, it could be a little bit skewed. I imagine the casual viewer would be like, oh my god, I hate her, or oh my god, I love her so much. She brings all the drama. But yeah, if you were a live feed watcher and you could see that her regular interactions, she's great.
Really?
Yeah, she's great.
I want to get into some questions that might make him use the golden power of spatula.
Yeah. Let's get in some trouble.
I want to get in some details. I don't know what you're allowed to ask. I'll start with things that I think are safe, but shit, I don't know. Zingbot. I want to know what it sounds like in the room with Zingbot. Is the voice and the jokes coming out of him? Is there a speaker in Zingbot?
Oh, good question. Or is it just audio?
Audio
and
through the
Zingbot is
room?
just dancing.
Yeah,
And
it's
you are
audio. Yeah.
And you are okay. So then he's just mime and dancing. I've been fascinated.
But he mimes it while it's
course.
being said. So like, it'd be no different if he did have a speaker.
So you don't think that the person is actually speaking? You think that it's actually recorded, and
it's got to be recorded.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
It's got to be.
That's a good dumb question.
Thank you.
I like that.
I imagine it's recorded.
What did Zingbot zing you with? I don't remember. Was it bad or no?
I loved it. It was basically around me loving D&D. It was something.
Yeah, that's fine.
I snore like a troll. Have feet like an ogre or something like that, and fart like something else. And then something about peeing on the floor outside. I can't remember exactly how the zing went, but it was funny. It was like basically D&D related, and I loved it. I thought it was cool.
Ogre. Your wiki feet page makes it look like you have very sexy feet, as we discussed.
Not that you look
as
at
we oddly discussed on the way down.
Not that you guys look at it or anything. That was my big joke in the house. I'm gonna have to open up my own website called Tonelyfans.
Okay.
Put my feet on there.
I love bad ideas. That's right up our alley.
Very story industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody just stole that and made a shitload of money. So
It was me. Thank you.
The Vince Morgan zing that ended it.
Yeah.
Last Zingbot question. I do love it when things get dark and uncomfortable. In general, I'm not even talking about in the show. I'm just talking about in life.
Yeah.
Is that uncomfortable silence? But that one felt. Did it feel the way that they portrayed it?
As tense.
As
right?
tense as it was.
ooh, yeah, the whole mood in the house definitely took a little bit of a dark turn there. Yeah, everyone was like, ooh, finally, somebody said it.
Yeah, no, for real.
Ooh.
How shitty did she cut the pizza? Because I feel like that was really aggressive.
Oh yeah, she went
Really
to make.
aggressive.
It's what everyone's asking me about, like the cutting of the pizza afterwards, and I'm like, honestly, my head must have been in my hands for so long that I didn't even notice she did that. Because I was like, ooh.
So someone's, or is it you? I don't know. I heard someone, because I'm fascinated with the rules behind the scenes stuff too. And again, if you can't talk about the shit, it's fine. You said no energy drinks in the house, and I wanted to know what's the booze allotment, because sometimes they have White Claws or beers or
Yeah.
like you get those if you're HOH or if you certain times. And are they fueling you guys up? You know, or it's like, oh, it's hot.
No, they're definitely not.
Well, let's get them a little buzzed.
Maybe if they need some drama.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by fueling you up. Like, oh, we need to stir some shit up tonight.
Maybe if they need some drama, possibly. But I want to say you definitely, like when I went HOH, I got a 6-pack of like this really awesome Japanese beer, by the way. So put in the comments what that beer was, because I can't remember. I think it was like Harland or something like that. God, it was so good.
Really?
Yes.
I love Japanese whiskey.
I was gonna say he loves
I love Japanese
liquor.
whiskey.
Japanese. I've never had that.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
it is smooth. I'll get you some.
Good.
Oh yeah.
They
Please.
filter
We're
it
not
like
going to make your
coffee?
curfew if
Oh,
we
really?
start
Wow,
drinking
okay.
Japanese whiskey.
Oh shit. All right.
Keanu has a curfew that I have
Got
to
me
adhere
some for
to.
Christmas, so-
Bingo. Did the voice.
Yeah, we're gonna start drinking that as the show goes on. We're gonna have subtitles here in the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's typically how it goes.
it's almost every Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, it was a delicious Japanese lager. But anyway, I digress. So if you win HOH, you get like a 6-pack or a bottle of wine, whatever it is that your preference is. And then every once in a while for special occasions, they will give you guys like wine and stuff. So, for Kelly's birthday, for example, there was wine. For Morgan's birthday, they gave us wine. So things like that. And then every once in a while, if it's been like a while, maybe like a week and a half, or maybe they've trapped you inside the house because they're building something outside and you guys are going stir crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh shit.
Yep.
All the rats are going crazy
need
in
a
the cage
treat.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's give them
Someone
a
needs
treat.
a treat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Press the button on the rat cage and little treat falls out for you.
Yeah.
So how often does that happen? Because the cordoning you off in back rooms, like I know when, like if you're HOH, everyone, you have to call them out. So they get cordoned off for that. But for building sets in the backyard.
I would say like once a week for sure.
And they make you go to whatever room and you guys...
No. I mean, just like they'll close off the backyard.
Oh, just backyard's off limits.
Yeah, close off the backyard and you guys will be in the house for maybe 2 or 3 straight days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it depends on how big the set is. Sometimes you can hear them building
Really?
something out back and you're like, oh shit.
Did it feel like
It's probably
quarantine?
Walcott.
We're going to be climbing.
That was the joke. The live feeders know. That was the joke. Every week was like, oh, they're building wall comp.
It was loud and a lot of
Until we
drills.
actually got it. And then once the wall comp was done, we're like, oh shit, they're building wall comp. It was just like the joke all year long.
So that leads me to one of the other questions that I was going to ask. In the entire time that you're in the house, how many human beings do you ever see? Like,
Hey, do you see?
they close the curtains so you don't see the people working in the backyard, right? Is there a health professional that maybe pops in if somebody cuts their finger or something? Or
Yeah.
Or is there anybody that comes in at all? Or does somebody have a handheld camera if there's a comp or something like that? I don't know if that's too in the weeds.
No.
I like production stuff, so I'm curious. Actual physical interaction with another human being that isn't in the cast.
Yeah, I mean, I've listened to a couple podcasts of people before, and they've talked about this, so I don't think this is out of bounds. If somebody gets hurt, a health professional will come in. If somebody has like a problem with their mic or something like that, there's a guy that comes and helps you out.
Okay.
The same guy.
Yep.
The same guy.
Always the same guy.
Always the same guy.
Like Ralph. What's his name?
We know. Oh, I can't say his name. Because apparently the Big Brother fans are really like, and they'll look people up. So
Oh shit! All right.
I'm sure that's not even his
guys.
real name. So yeah, I'm sure that's not even his real name. But yeah, there's the same guy.
We called him Cherry. I don't know.
And then every once in a while you'll see, or actually not every once in a while, in the comps, you'll see like an elevated platform, and you'll see like people up there, like the people that control the cameras and other production people. You'll see
that
them
answers
up
the
there.
question.
But you only ever like see the one person that comes and helps you with your mics. Every once in a while they might have somebody else like do a demonstration of what you're supposed to do in the games and stuff like that. But other than that,
I was going to get into that, but are there rules on? You don't talk to him at all, except for this is how the battery goes in, and this is I mean, is there no discussion of any kind?
you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
They're definitely not supposed to interact with us.
Right.
I like fucking with them.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, a new person.
Yeah. One time, one of the guys was
Do
doing.
you like hugs?
Yeah. So yeah, I need one right now, really bad. No one's talked to me in 22 hours.
I just need some human interaction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was one time where one of the guys was like demoing one of the things, and I was like trying to make him laugh. I was like, dude, your performance was great. And I was trying to get him to laugh, and he just like walked off stone cold.
Jesus, ice.
Yeah.
In seasons past, just last thing on that, they've done the bit where like people in the mirrored walls like scare the shit out of the house guests.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. I love that bit. I don't think they did it this year or anything scare based. But do you see people moving around back there where you're like, what the you hear them. It's got to sound like people on the move.
Sometimes you'll like say something funny, and you'll hear them laughing.
Oh shit! Really?
Like,
Oh, I would love
you're
that.
like, I don't see.
yeah, it's like half the shit that I said would be for them.
Yes.
You gotta laugh through the wall.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
so
There was a
great.
couple times you hear them laughing, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I
Nailed it.
got them, got them.
Would you say those days where y'all are locked in there for 2 to 3 at a time, did it feel similar to quarantine?
No, not really. Just because you're in there with so many people. I would say like towards the end, kind of drives you a little bit stir crazy when there's only like 4 other people in the house.
Yeah.
And you may not really enjoy speaking to them as much as you enjoyed speaking to previous house guests. So that was a little bit more difficult, but it really wasn't like too bad. You kind of get like used to it already. So yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Are you not supposed to sing popular songs or use movie quotes?
You're not.
You can't.
You'll get the voice. Don comes on. He's like, stop singing.
So if you're just singing a copyrighted song or anything,
Making my way downtown. Stop singing.
you can sing here. I think
Yeah,
actually we might get another strike.
Our joke was, we'd always be like, stop fucking having fun.
Dawn.
Yeah, at towards the end there, we were just like always like imitating him and be like, stop having fun.
Do you get
You
tunes?
piece of shit.
Do you get tunes of your HOH?
You get a iPod of album of your choice. I chose Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good info.
Brought it back to my elementary school days.
Yeah.
It just got me hype all the time. But that's what I chose. But yeah, you also get music like during some of the lockdowns. So like for I want to say, what was it, Memorial Day? For Memorial Day, we had like a party in the house. Cameras were off. They put music on. So that was fun. Yeah, they
Okay.
gave us like cornhole. It was fun, man.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Dance
And
party.
dude, it's
Enrichment time.
So crazy how being deprived of so much shit in your everyday life, you appreciate like the small things, dude.
Like what?
The small, like getting liquor every
Yeah.
other week,
Yeah.
or playing cornhole, or just little things like that. And you're like, dude, I don't even really care for cornhole, but like I haven't played a game other than pool or chess in like 3 years at this point. So yeah, it was wild, man.
You got into comps for a second. I wanted to ask you about practice for comps because it seems not fair to explain something to you that's very complex and then your first go at it is the first run. So I did want to ask you about practice for comps. And then I want to ask you about the interviews that happened during. I know Mikey and I talked about it prior to this. But just start with the first time you hear about a comp is when? And
Like what the comp's going to be?
yeah, what the comp's going to be, how it's
When
explained.
we walk in.
Really?
Yeah, when we walk in and see it for the first time, that's where like, oh shit, we're doing that.
Yeah.
So there's then in the instance where you said somebody tries to show you how to do it, like somebody that is, that maybe works for the show or whatever, they do it once, so you get a sort of perspective.
No, more often than not, it's literally just words. They explain how the game works, and it's up to you to figure it out on the fly.
Is there any questions part that they never show us? I mean, they have to.
Yeah, like if you have questions,
like,
they'll
hang on,
answer
can I do-
questions.
okay.
I think the only one that they don't really do that for, because it's during the live show, is the Blockbuster.
Okay.
They're like, yo, these are the
We
rules.
said it.
As soon as you
Julie
hear
said
Julie's
it.
voice, that's it. So you better answer all your questions now.
Jesus.
Then the other thing is, Mikey and I talked about this, the interviews that when they cut for the show, when you're talking about hanging up on the wall, when you're talking about the tweezers, when you're talking about whatever.
I have to cut you off there. I don't know how I can talk about
Well,
that.
I'm talking.
Right.
You
I
can't cut me off.
Golden
I'm asking a
spatula.
question, unless I've seen the golden
Yeah,
golden spatula.
you
the golden
have
power
to raise it.
spatula.
And there it is.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know if I can talk about that one.
All right.
I don't know if
I
can talk about that one.
let me speedball a few.
I'm going to keep asking questions unless you put that in my phone.
Just throw it at him.
I have a few questions. I did open up to Reddit. I was like, we got Keanu on. If anyone's got any
dude.
questions, let's
Hey,
fire away.
I hear the subreddit is where I got most of my haters, so fire.
Really? Okay.
Me too.
I
So.
mean, the vinegar. Yeah, we have our own little
Welcome.
Reddit. They like us. It's pretty small, though. They like us. There's Abominable Sin Man. Do you think you would have beaten Ashley, Vince, or Morgan in Final Two? Yeah, that's pretty basic. I mean, and you said you were one comp away from, in your mind, winning it.
One
Was
decision.
that the stick holding the thing?
No. So, all right, to answer your first question,
Yeah,
I think that had I made it into the final two, that means that I comped out, right? And if I comped out, that means I won double-digit comps.
which is kind of undeniable.
Which is undeniable.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I would have won no matter who I sat next to, especially with the underdog story that I had and things like that. So I think I would have won no matter who I sat next to. With that being said, I think my path to winning would have been not when I dropped the little disc thing. Everyone seems to think it's there. I think that had I voted less emotionally during the double eviction and voted for Ava to leave over Lauren would have been my shield going into that next week, because Morgan and Ashley, I imagine, still would have voted for Lauren to leave. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, had that been the case, obviously I don't know if they would have wanted me out at that point before her, but I imagine they would have, because she was a super fan. So in a final two, she's winning over any one of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's probably been studying the whole time. I mean, I was studying too, but she's a super fan, so she probably knows how all that shit works way better than I do.
Yep.
So why wouldn't you want her out before me? So assuming that everything stays the same, so obviously there includes a lot of what ifs there. So I don't really like to play the what if game, but assuming we're in the sanctum, Vince still wins. He puts me and Ashley up. Morgan still wins Tiny Veto. Uses the veto probably on Ashley to force him to put Lauren up.
Mm-hmm.
Morgan and Ashley probably still vote for Lauren to leave. I make it into week 4 and I dominate week 4 because I have been doing that dice game all season long. Mm-hmm. There's no way I'm fucking that up. I literally been playing it all season long. And if I win Final 4, I'm gonna make it to Final 3, obviously. When I make it to Final 3, I probably win the second half of that because Vince didn't read the instructions.
Oh, that was
correctly.
the swing and put the things in order.
Yeah.
God, I
Put the
was
things
so
in
happy.
order of when they left.
You're right.
And so like
he
when
had
I
a
saw
meltdown.
when I saw the clips of it, because in the back they show us like what happened throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that and immediately I was like, oh my God, that's so easy, the order. And then I see Vince putting up like the days that they left, and I was like, oh my God, I would have won that. I'd have been in the Final 2. If Morgan still has the same performance in the Final 2, I would have probably taken that home easily, and then I would have won.
God.
So it's crazy to think about it like that. I don't like playing the what if game, but it's good to know, or at least in my brain, and I don't think of it from like, oh my God, I could have won if I just didn't make that one mistake, so I don't need to change anything about my game.
It's human nature, though.
He did the voice.
Absolutely not. I think that knowing that I played the game so horribly that I still had the opportunity to win in spite of how horribly I played makes me think that like, well, shit, I can only get better.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I mean, that's how I choose to look at it. Like I'm gonna try and be as humble as I can.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But, there's some people out there that are like, oh, dude, you're a legend. You're my favorite player ever. This and that.
It's got to be flattering.
And I know it's definitely flattering, and I appreciate it. And I will never take that for granted. I love that I'm someone's favorite player in the history of the show. There's some people that will message me like, dude, I've been watching since season 1, and you are my favorite player. I was like, dude, I love that.
You made a ripple.
I love that. And the fact that I am hell-bent on becoming better and winning. Like, I want to win, guys. Like, there's no, like, I want to win. I want to come back. I want to win.
Yeah.
I want to go on the challenge and I want to win. I want to go on Survivor and I want to win. I want to go on the Amazing Race and I want to win. I want to be in this space and dominate. You know what I mean? And that's not saying that I will, but I want to put in the work to be able to dominate. So I want to give people a real reason to root for me other than just like, dude, you had your back against the wall. The house hated you. You dominated and wouldn't go home. And like, yeah, that's cool. But that's so surface level. Like, I want to be your favorite because not only did I dominate, but I'm actually good at the game too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't be the king of the casuals forever.
No. You got to go deep. Let's do this real quick, the life after thing, All right, let's do the America's favorite thing first, right? So you find that out, and I've heard you say before you were surprised by it, but who the hell knows what people think of you, I guess. When you guys were in the house, was there chit chat about America's favorite, and who do you guys think was the favorite to win that award? And then I guess, what did it feel like when, holy shit, really?
The general consensus was that Rachel was probably going to win because she already had a fan base going in. So we all pretty much thought she had a lock for it. So it was like, we were all curious who would come in second. We're like, oh, and by what percentage of the votes? So that's what we were all curious about. So to find out that, I was America's favorite and by such a huge margin was, honestly, it was really cool and was very unexpected. I had a feeling I was in the running at least for it. When I had my exit interview with Julie and she told me that her son was rooting for me. I was like, oh shit.
That's a good start.
Like, yeah. Like, she's been doing the show since its inception. So I was like, yo, her son was rooting for me.
Did you say was your husband rooting for me too? Because that could help out quite a bit on the big quest.
Oh yeah, that'll get me
the whole fam.
That'll get you in the whole
trifecta real quick.
Want the whole fam invested.
Yeah. So, I had an inkling that I was at least received well when she told me that. So that was really nice to know. And then what else kind of gave me a little bit? Oh, when I came, and I'm sure the crowd that's there has to clap for everything.
Yeah, but there's different levels, I think.
Yeah, and then so when they clapped, and they were clapping loud for me, and there was a girl in the front, hey, comment on this video if you're seeing this. She was like, I looked at her, and she was like so starstruck. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God! Like,
Did you look behind you? Did you look behind you? Like,
who's behind me that she's starstruck at? So yeah, it was really cool to get and I even said it. I think when I came out, I was like, oh well, that makes me feel nice.
Yeah,
So, I had an inkling that I would be received decent, but I had no idea it would be like that. So that was very, very nice. I appreciate everyone that voted for me and is a fan. I'll never take that for granted. That was really cool.
Did you get the check yet?
I think it's in my mailbox. I haven't gone and I haven't.
What are we doing, guy? I'm giving you a ride home. We're gonna go look together. How about
okay, yeah.
There you go.
Deal.
There's our cold open.
Yeah, it's probably in my mailbox. I'm not I'm not in a rush to,
Yeah, that's a different payment than other payment. That's
I'm gonna just invest it. If everyone's like, oh, I thought he was gonna put it towards his dad's cancer treatments. Right now my dad is doing great. Mm-hmm. My dad is healthy. He's in remission. The thing is that he has cancer in his spine, so he'll never be like, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when sort of thing. Right now he's doing okay, so we don't need that money for that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So until we do, I'm just gonna invest it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be wise with it. I'm not gonna go out and buy, a boat. Not that I don't even know if you could buy a boat.
I'll go
$50,000.
I'll go boating with you though. If you get a boat, if you end up with a boat,
right there in that pond.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna rip it in circles. Just kicking up Mountain Dew.
Also, it's
Watch out.
It's 2025. What are we doing cutting a check from CBS?
Yeah, cutting a
Can't
check.
they just
Direct deposit.
I mean,
Venmo me.
Zelle.
yeah, just something like that, or make it the big golfer check.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, that would be
Oh
fun.
yeah, if they gave me one of those, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah, that's definitely not in my mailbox.
So, like it or not, and I think you like it because I think the head on your shoulders allows you to like it, embrace this, and capitalize from it. But you walk out of the house a different person than in the perception
Relatively
of,
speaking.
yes, not you, and I think you've probably changed less than many, but you walk out of that house and now you walk around your neighborhood and people recognize you. You probably everywhere you go, life is certainly different. How does that feel being now, what, three weeks, whatever it's been?
Yeah, I
month
think it's been about 3 weeks. Yeah, the first 2 weeks I would go around my neighborhood just for like a little 30, 45-minute walk every day. And the first 2 weeks I got noticed every single day, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool, really weird,
Yeah.
you know, having fans know where I live too.
Yeah, true. In your neighborhood, that would be close to home.
that's kind of weird. But yeah, people will ask me for photos, you know, on when we go for brunch and stuff. Yesterday was really nice. A lady came up to my girlfriend and was like,
Who's
"Oh my god,
beautiful, by the way."
thank you."
Like
I
every
appreciate it.
interview I watched
agree.
of you before this, I was just like, "Yes, girl, like go Keanu." She's great.
Yeah, man, she's amazing. But yes, a lady came up to her and was like, "Oh my god, your boyfriend's so great. You know, yeah, you really have a guy with a good head on his shoulders." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." And then she turned to me and was like, "We loved you. We're such a big fan." I was like, "Oh, thanks." But yeah, that's been really cool. And you know, something that really stuck with me that Rachel said inside the house was, you know, that she was really gracious with her time. No matter how many years she's been in the game, you know, she's never too good for her fans. And so I really if there's anything that I listened to that she said, it was about her time as a reality star. You know, I've listened to, if there was a time when I really listened when she spoke, it was about those things. Because it was like, you know, when she made it seem so like glamorous and so, not glamorous, so fun, you know, that it became something that like, I didn't go in the house wanting to be a reality star and wanting to do several shows or anything like that. But speaking to her, I was like, oh my God, I would love to travel around the world and have all these experiences. Are you kidding me? Like, part of my time being in the house being remotely tolerable was because I had her to speak to and all of her stories. Like, if I had those myself, are you kidding me? I'd be like the new Dos Equis guy, most interesting man in the world.
Everywhere you stand.
Yeah. So, you know, something she said was that she was really gracious with her time, no matter who she came up to her. You know, she always made time to take pictures and this and that. So, you know, not that I'm not like that inherently, but I'm even more inclined to be like that because I was like, that's something that, you know, that she told me that really stuck with me. And I was like, I don't ever want to get to a point where I'm too cool for someone or I don't want to, you know, I don't have enough time for you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want to be that guy. And I've never been that guy. So
I think you're very unlikely to be that guy.
Yeah.
Just be yourself and you're going to be A-okay.
I appreciate it.
I know you've said green light to any potential other shows. I'm not going to whip you about that. Of course, if they want you on Survivor or whatever else, the answer is yes. But how about concurrent to that, the sort of pipeline of just stuff, requests of your time? I think you guys have a cruise coming up or some event in Florida. I think I saw. Like I watched
January 26th through the 30th. We're cruising to the Bahamas.
Okay.
Me and a bunch of other Big Brother alumni who are freaking awesome. We got Paul from seasons 18, 19, Derek, season 16 winner, Daniel Reyes, season 3.
That's cool.
Can we put this on the
was
card?
season 7? Was season 7 also was the All-Star season? Was that season 7?
I watched it, but I have no
Yeah,
idea.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, could be. She was on the All-Star season too. She's great.
I remember her. Yeah. She's awesome.
Who else? We got Casey, season.
Your partner.
Hell yeah,
Your
dude!
partner in a
She's
potted
awesome, bro.
in a potted
Oh my
plant.
god!
Oh,
shout out Casey, dude. First
That
of all,
saved your
not
ass,
only for-
right?
Yeah, not only for winning the veto for me, but just being an awesome human.
Yeah.
I love hanging out with her. Whenever I get a chance to do TikTok lives with her, I love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
She's
love
such
her
a
lives.
phenomenal human being. And Jag, season 25.
Legend.
Yeah.
He seems
So,
like another.
him and
just-
his brother, amazing. And I don't know if they're twins or not, but they certainly finish each other's sentences, and it's very overwhelming to talk to them at the same time.
Hopefully we handle that better.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, you guys are great.
If you were to compare your entire time in the house to a kettlebell flow, how heavy would the kettlebell be?
Ooh. Okay.
Madigan's got the-
That's actually a really good question.
Thank you.
I would say, okay, so normally when I do kettlebell flows, when I'm learning them, I operate with a 12 kilograms, so about 25 pounds, 26 pounds. Then once I have it down, I'll upgrade it to 16 kilo, so about 35 pounds. And the reason I do that is because it's really the reason I do like the kettlebell flows is because it's kind of like weighted mobility. It makes mobility training fun. We're like, who the fuck wants to sit there and just do static stretching or even mobility training in general? At least with the kettlebell, to me personally, it's fun. So when people are like, that's not even working out. No fucking shit, you dumbass. It's mobility training and it's fun, dude. Like what?
Hey, you wish you could swing this thing around like I can.
Yeah, right. But I would say every once in a while I like to do my flows with a 20 because it really with a 20 kilos, so 44 pounds makes it a lot more challenging. Really, actually makes you sweat. So I would say it's probably like that.
Nice.
You know, I feel like I handled it well under the pressure, but it's still fucking heavy.
Keanu, we're not going to keep you much longer, man. A lot
I'm
of
here to hang out.
I know we're chilling, right?
You've been awesome,
dude. I ain't got shit to do the rest of the day. So.
I promised your girlfriend we had a curfew, though. Remember?
Nah, she's good, man. She was just making a joke.
All right, BM Lane then asks, and again, this could be a golden spatula. I don't know. Will he be filming an unboxing of the care package sent by BB later on?
Oh,
is that a thing?
I already did that on TikTok and Twitch. So,
what do they give you? Just goodies?
Yeah, just all the stuff that all the costumes and stuff that you get.
Oh, really?
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, they give you all the costumes. So I got my butler costume. I got the pot,
Jesus,
I got the
really?
pot costume. I'll probably be that for Halloween.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I got the party slasher costume, so that all white suit that I had. I can't wait to wear that again.
Yeah. The comic book?
Honestly, we got the comic. Yeah, we got the
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah.
That's a big old
Put
box
that in the living room next
Yeah,
to the Star Wars
we got
stuff.
the comic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is going. That's why I have that
Heck
spot
yeah.
open.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the comic is going. What else did they give me? A couple things from a couple people behind the scenes. Like I have like a necklace with like a little diamond K. That's pretty cool that they gave me.
Aw.
The little rats that have our name on it from OTEV.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
just
Did
a
you
couple
get your
little
voodoo doll?
knickknacks. My voodoo doll.
Oh, you did get your
Nice.
voodoo doll?
Yeah, my
I
voodoo
love
doll
the
was in there.
dreads on it. It was so cute.
Yeah.
That's how you got done, right?
Yeah, my voodoo doll. Which my mom was not a fan of that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine
Too
wouldn't
heavy.
either.
The dark arts.
Yeah, it was. I mean, honestly, it was a little weird, bro. You know,
It was
like,
intense.
It was a little
intense.
weird. I was like, all right, I'm all for like being in the culty sanctum, but damn,
then they're
I'm
like,
getting
"Stab
stabbed for a
it."
voodoo doll. That's how I go out, fam. Damn, and Ashley stabbed me in the dick, dude.
Dude, I saw that.
I thought it was a dick
I
shot.
had to be by accident.
Dude, no, no, yeah, I don't think they put it in the edit. That because they filmed it because that one wasn't live, so they filmed it twice. In the first one, she like stabbed me right in the dick. I was like, "Damn, Ashley, really? You couldn't have done it anywhere else." So then she did it a little bit higher.
Okay, it was a little
So
pelvic.
she did it in my
Yeah, a little.
pelvic region. But the other one, yeah, she castrated me, bro. I was like, what
Oh
the
my God.
fuck?
I mean, you're already killing me. Just do it with some class.
Were you, again, viewer only, the Ashley winning thing, like, by the end of the whole story, I was like, fuck it. That was awesome. Because she went into zombie lawyer
mode.
robot mode
Yeah.
in the final. And I saw, again, I only watched the regular show. I saw none of that throughout it. And maybe she was playing up being ditzy or playing this character that is not smart. I have no idea. But I feel like if I was in the jury and she busted that out, I would have gone, who the fuck is this person? And I would have maybe acknowledged her with my vote to win.
Yeah.
If she could switch that on and make pretty good arguments for why she should win. Were you shocked by that, or is that something that you guys kind of figured out throughout the show?
No, so they had, I mean, to the audience, aside from people that like watch the live feed, so the more casual viewer, I imagine was probably surprised by her being a lawyer and things like that. In the jury house, they were like, "Oh, Ashley's a lawyer," and I wasn't like completely floored by that because, as the jury phase started, and I started talking to her in more kind of gamey terms rather than just like as a roommate or walking around the house. I started picking up on the fact that okay, she's been playing dumb this whole time. And then when I got to the jury house, they're like, "Oh, Ashley's a lawyer. Did you know that?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, that makes sense. I'm not completely like surprised by it."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I really like respect her game. She played the game very masterfully from a social standpoint. I think the type of person that I personally like seeing, call me casual, call me whatever you like, but I respect and appreciate the social aspect of the game. But I also like, winning the comps too. That's fun. That's how you get power in the game. You know what I mean? So the reason why ultimately, some people are divided. Oh, you better have voted for Ashley. She played a complete game. First of all, fuck you. Okay. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my real dad. Okay. Second of all, I feel like the fact that she won that final HOH gave herself power when she needed it the most, because had Vince won or Morgan won, she was out of there. So, her back was against the wall and twice in the game. Week 1 and she won, took herself off the block, never touched the block again, or not never touched the block again, but was never really in danger of going home ever again. And then winning the final HOH to secure her spot in the final 2 and take Morgan out of the game. Like, that's a huge move, man. I had to acknowledge that. So I feel like for me personally, the only things that were missing from her game at a certain point was the comp wins, and she didn't necessarily win as many comps as like I would have appreciated a winner to have won, but she won the 2 comps that mattered the most.
Yeah.
So I had to I can't just turn a blind eye to that. And then also, Vince, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
You're never going to lie to me 5,000 times.
Yeah.
Expect for
Jury
me to vote to you.
control.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
Jury management. People are like, oh, dude, you're so butthurt. You didn't vote for Vince. I was like, guys, jury management is part of the game. Mm-hmm. Hello?
I want to ask about jury too, but the Vince thing is interesting because I thought he played a pretty good game.
He played a great game.
And I thought
think he played the best game.
I kind of thought he probably will win this until Ashley just switched on some lawyer mode that I was like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. But Vince's argument could have been, Ashley, you didn't have to juggle all these balls that I kept by winning, picking up and having to juggle and put myself in all these positions where there's fork in the road and I'll just wait and see where it goes, and put himself in this position where I am going to screw somebody over. It sucks, but I have to decide who I'm going to screw over least or less. And it had to be you on multiple occasions.
Yeah, but that's part of the game, though. Like making it what the difference between Ashley and Vince, right? And why Ashley, in my opinion, deserved to win over Vince, even though I believe Vince played, kind of a better game, in my opinion. The reason I believe Ashley deserved to win was because she made it just as far as Vince and never had to do those things. Mm-hmm. She never put herself in a position where she had to screw somebody over. You know what I mean?
But if she had done what you just suggested, which is win a few more comps, that would have by nature put her in the position where she then had to make bigger decisions that Vince was in the middle of every single week.
Yeah, because he won 4 HOHs.
Right.
Yeah, but there was a lot of elements of Vince's game that didn't need to be present. Like, for example, lying when you didn't need to lie.
Yeah, emotional
dude, that's so emotional manipulation. That's so unnecessary. Like, he maybe could have gotten Ava's vote, and I can't remember off the top of my head what it is that he told her because I haven't gone back and seen the episodes. But he lied to her about keeping her safe during his last HOH for no reason.
Yeah,
like why? Everyone knew you were going to get rid of her anyway. You could have just been telling her hey,
it's the game.
This is the game. There's not that many options, and I don't have control over whether they're going to vote, keep you in or not. But if it's up to me, I'm going to vote for you. And he didn't have to say that.
Yeah, yeah.
And and that's already getting rid of one vote. Why would you tell me? Yeah. If you're not going to put Morgan up, why don't you just tell me straight up you're going to put me up? Yeah. Why? I could understand why he didn't do that before the HOH. Because then I would have been gunning for that Sanctum one really hard.
Yeah.
And probably would have won and put his ass on the block. So I see why he didn't do it then. But afterwards, bro, stop making me feel like I'm not going to go up there. Fucking tell me straight up I'm going to go up there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that was also why I couldn't bring myself to vote for him. I was like, dude, you lied to me not only a bajillion times, but then also kept lying to me for no reason.
And you're going to have to be in the room when I found out you lied to my face.
Right.
And face me then. So it's why even?
I know.
It's going to be
just
awkward.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me that he...
That's human nature, though, to just push away that credit card bill as long as you can until, shit, I got to pay it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think that is.
Well, but being able to manage your finances in this terminology is really how you win the game.
Yeah.
So Ashley managed her finances significantly better. And that's why she walked away with $750,000.
How much manipulation happens in the jury house of each other in an effort to get votes in a direction that any person, you or anyone else, would prefer them to go? Are you guys open forum? Are you guys all friends again?
Oh my God, yes.
Is it just kind of all right, fuck all that?
As soon as the game is over, we're over there playing Mario Party. We're playing Clue.
Yes.
We're playing Cards Against Humanity.
I loved all the lives
we drink.
in that house.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, it's so fun. Oh, we get energy drinks?
Shots!
Yeah, dude, it's fun. I'm not going to lie, it's fun in the jury house. So, but yeah, there's not too much manipulation in the jury house. I can't speak to any other season, but we all were very much under the same umbrella. I don't know if anyone else is going to talk about this, but I spoke to you about this in the car, that there was pretty much a scenario where any one of the 3 could have won. Morgan, if she's in the final 2 chairs, I think under any scenario, I think wins. She just played a very clean game. She played very well socially. She won a shitload of comps. Pretty easy to understand why we would all collectively vote for her.
On paper, yeah.
Vince, if he wins the final HOH and cuts Morgan, I feel like going scorched earth and owning your gameplay, You know,
No chance he'd have done that though.
Well, he might have.
He might not have, but if he did,
right,
that would have gotten my vote. And then you own your game at the end too,
and that eliminates the narrative of course, Morgan controlled his game. Of course.
Eliminates
one move she may have now, but the ultimate knife ended that.
Right. And like you said, eliminates the narrative that she was running his game.
Yes,
you know. So that's from my understanding where a significant amount of us would have, at least 4 of us, would have voted for him to win. And then Ashley winning is exactly what happened. You know, she wins the final 2 HOH, cuts Morgan. That's the biggest move of the game, technically, because her life was on the line, and she cut the biggest competitor in the game. So, like, how can you not acknowledge that? That coupled with the fact that she was pretty much under the radar the entirety of the game.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's not like she was, you know, the common misconception, and I want to, like, clear this up for a lot of the more casual people out there that think that she just floated her way to the end. First of all, a floater is someone who goes from power structure to power structure, not literally just coasting to the end. So in the jury house, we coined that terminology, a coaster. Okay. So from here, if you heard it here first, right? So from here on out, someone who coasts is someone who gets basically carried to the end.
Okay.
All right. So she didn't coast to the end because she was doing things behind the scenes that, you know, manipulated things so that she would make it to the end. So you can't say that she was a floater or a coaster by our new definition.
She wasn't a leech.
Yeah, she wasn't like just sticking to the power structure. She stuck with the same people the whole time. You know what I mean? And when she created the Judges Alliance, they just happened to be in power the whole freaking time.
Yeah.
So,
and it is interesting. She was actually in deep shit in the beginning. And I think about Kelly.
Right.
I think about Kelly being in deep shit and putting herself up several times.
Me, I put my own self in deep shit.
Like, dude, it's crazy that the game can turn from a hole that you dig yourself, especially early.
Right.
I mean, the fact that those two specifically, and you as well, you know, got as far as you did, everybody gets in deep holes and then some of them end in those holes.
Yeah.
I get that. But the game itself it's incredible that shower thing so effing long ago. And then Kelly, I remember thinking about her, man, I kind of like her and she seems cool and relatively level-headed and whatever, but she just has put herself in a spot that now she doesn't have enough power to do a damn thing.
Yeah, I never understood that. When I went back and saw like the first couple episodes, I was like, you volunteered yourself? Like, shit, I may not know that the game that well, but I know not to do that.
Not doing that.
Holy shit, dude. And you did it by choice, and you're like, and I didn't even know she had a final 2 with Vinny.
Yeah.
And she told her final 2, hey, put me in harm's way. Are you fucking kidding me?
Insane.
See, she's thinking that that's going to come back. Now, knowing Vinny, we know that would have never effing happened, but she's like, okay.
Yeah, you think you're paying it forward in some way, and then somebody will have your back when you need it.
Right.
Dude.
There was a moment on the live streams with Kelly that I wondered if it affected y'all inside the house as well. But she was talking about something, and everyone was like, hey, kind of lower your voice. And she's like, well, the cameras can't hear me unless I'm close to him, right? And they were like, no, they're listening all the time. Like, that's why your mic is on.
Girl, you got a microphone.
Yeah. And she was like, oh. And then from there on, like, she stopped lying. Like, I mean, she still lied a couple times, but she wasn't just making up shit like she was before then.
Oh, no.
So I wondered if that was like a switch.
I don't know. I don't know when that happened because Kelly was a shit stirrer all the way through, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah. She loved stirring the pot. That whole fight about me that me and Rachel had about me peeing on the floor or whatever, that all started because of her.
Knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the edit, or I don't even actually. I don't know if it is in the edit. It might have just been on the unlocked. From what I hear.
Oh, okay. I've heard it. It was probably on the unlock.
Yeah, they brought it. They just kind of showed y'all yelling at each other, and you were like, "Why? Why? I know it wasn't me. Why is nobody believing that it wasn't me?" And everyone was just Team Rachel. But I mean, that was the whole season. Everyone never believed you for what you were doing. So,
who are you? I mean, is there like a freaking text thread with everybody? Like, you just exchange numbers, and you do have to ask the relationships with you and others now that you're out of the house. It's been a few weeks. Who are you surprised that you're close with or communicate with a lot, and no communication at all?
Yeah, I'm not like surprised that I'm close to the people that I am close to. I would say I'm actually a lot closer to a lot of the alumni than I am to people in my own cast. But I do speak with Kelly pretty frequently. I speak to Vince every now and then, just on a, hey dude, how's it going? Obviously he's going through things right now. So just as a friend, just checking up on him, like, yo dude, if you ever need me, I'm just a phone call away. And even if you really need, exactly. And if you need someone to be there, dude, I'm on the next flight. Just let me know.
Yeah.
I speak to Adrian. I love Adrian.
I really liked Adrian.
Adrian.
We do the pick a winner first episode, my girlfriend and I picked Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian.
Just because he seemed like he had shit together. He's the one who built the.
Yeah,
he
the
built
wall
stuff. Yeah, and his bag.
yeah.
I gotta go to San Antonio and try some of the.
Yeah, he played.
No, you do.
It's just like he never really had the chance to get over. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I hate that he went out so early, but I love Adrian. So they're the three I would say that I predominantly talk to the most. Who else? I've been on a TikTok live with Lauren, but she was on a live with me and Adrian and Kelly. So yeah, I keep in touch with a couple people. You know, when I think of something that reminds me of somebody, like the other day, a little Instagram reel popped up and reminded me of when we were playing a game in the house, and we were saying like a word, and you have to say a word that associates that you like a word association game.
Yeah,
and we were just tossing it with a loaf of bread, and so we were tossing the thing around, and someone said hard. Threw it at Zach. Zach caught it and said me.
Oh, okay. I was
So I
That could have gone a lot of ways.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw a Key and Peele skit on IG Reels, and it was like basically the same premise. And I sent it to him, and we were just fucking cracking up about it. So, you know, I'm still friends with a lot of a lot of the people on the cast, and I don't hold anything against them. You know, for all I know, they really could have thought I was a piece of shit and just talking crap about me the whole time. Who, you know, I will never honestly know. I am just, and maybe this is a fault of mine, I'm just willing to give people the benefit of the doubt all the time. But, you know, a lot of me chooses to believe that they're just playing the game. It was not cool to be associated with me for a majority of the game. So when they were spoken to about me, they would just be like, you know, F that guy. You know, oh, you know, I don't care about him. I'm going to go after him. Or, you know, and even said sometimes like nasty stuff about me. You know, I don't give a fuck about him. He smells like shit or whatever the fuck they said. I don't know what they said.
Right.
they're uncreative criticisms.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what the hell they said about me, but you know, I'm just going to choose to give them the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, one of the things that I believe got me America's favorite in the first place was like leading with love. And so I'm just going to choose to do that in my real life. Like, why would I do anything different?
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
All right, hold on. I have one more. Just because I'm obsessed with this. I think of this in the shower. I've wanted to get on Big Brother forever. I've sent video. I'm not showing
Tell
it.
them the song that you've had stuck in your head for
No,
the last
I
week.
won't do that because that's too embarrassing.
Big Brother,
Okay.
the girls, Big Brother.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
And I'm
That's
like,
why.
out of everything on the show, that's what's stuck in your head.
I'm like, Madigan, guess what song stuck in my head? She's like, what? And I sing
And then
this.
he'll sing it for an
man.
hour. So sorry if I put that back in your
So
head, Mike.
I've we're not showing it. We'll show it on our regular Cirque show.
Are you talking about
We should show
my
it.
my
I
submission
haven't.
video?
Come on, let's play
Let's
it.
show him.
Don't make him sit.
I wasn't
through
gonna
this.
say let's end this thing.
I sat through the real life thing. Why wouldn't I sit through yours?
Dude, let's show it.
All right.
Please look towards the screen.
Why not?
But
Wait,
I will use
rewind
for
it.
these purposes. I'm actually the. Hi, Mike Sirois is my name, and I want to be on Big Brother, CBS's hit television show. Please stick around for about 2 minutes, and I promise you this will be the most interesting submission video you will watch today. It may be in the no pile immediately, and I can't argue with that. But just watch for 2 minutes. It'll be fun.
I'm gonna
First
critique
off,
this.
Again,
Please.
Mike Sirois is my name. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and to prove that, I'm standing on the site of one of the most iconic photographs ever taken, one of the most infamous photos ever taken. Right here is where Lee Harvey Oswald used to live in 1963. And took the famous photo of him holding a rifle and his social or communist papers. It was right here. Google. You know, put it in. Somebody put it in right here.
See?
Hope they did it. I don't know. I got no say in this. Love Big Brother. Watched it for the last 20 years. I'm 47 years old. The main pitch here is that I'm older, and you guys often have old people on here, but it doesn't really work. You have old, like, they're just there to get swapped away or you're swatted out to half court. I don't think so. I think somebody a little bit older, a little wiser, can actually still relate to young people, wind them up, and then spring them out of this damn house. And that's exactly what I plan to do. It's going to be fun. I'm a radio host. I do a
nervous
morning
as to
show
why
in
you're
Dallas,
holding
Texas.
this golf
I'll
club.
never say this because it's kind of douchey, but I will use it for these purposes. I'm actually the current reigning DFW 2023 radio host of the year. Like, it's the best radio host. I don't know exactly what it says, but all we do is have fun each and every day. We talk a little bit of sports. We just kick around stuff going on in Dallas. We have a good time, and it kind of suits me well for Big Brother, I think, putting me in a position where I'm comfortable, I'm fairly cool, and I have fun 24/7, and I think I really could be the funniest and most fun house guest you've ever had in there. Plus, I'm good at throwing shit into little buckets or whatever. If you hang me on a pole all day, that's going to be a big failure. But if we're doing a little accuracy thing, we're having fun, we can make that
Too
work.
long, I know.
I have 4 dogs, and
Jesus, I feel like I'm watching an episode of MTV Cribs.
I know.
My house. See, it's right by the Lee Harvey.
Scorsese one shot.
Yeah. with the hot girlfriend so they know I'm cool
That's hilarious, dude.
with our painting,
Love that painting.
and we recreate it. I got jokes in here.
Love you.
And then I have a twist.
Christina's amazing. That's my girlfriend. That's Mary. That's my sister-in-law. We love her. Again, Mike Sirois is my name. I think if you bring me in as is, I'll be one of the really most unique, most fun people you've ever had in the Big Brother house.
Twist.
But I kind of want to go as this guy. Same dude you just met, a little bit different look. I think there's a whole book by its cover thing in Big Brother where it's all abs and beautiful
Jesus,
hair.
everyone's
and all
gonna
these
think
hot
you're like a
people
detective.
making their decisions.
One of
my
judgments
characters.
on who they're talking to. They're going to think I'm a nut. I'm actually 47 years old, but I'm going in at age 50. Never married, no kids. They're going to think I'm a virgin, which is fine by me. I'm also not a radio man in this version of myself. I'm a 50-year-old who owns a baseball card shop in Dallas, Texas that I only got to start because a little investment from my mom. I think once they believe all that, they're not going to know what to make of me. And then they're going to still laugh. We're going to still have fun. And then they get stabbed in the back, and we win all the money. We shave the stash off. We shave the head. We go back to looking like a regular cool dude. And we walk out that damn door dead last. Let's go.
Okay.
Outside of too long.
Too long.
Okay, so first of all,
Shoot me
that was
straight.
fucking hilarious.
Okay. Thank you.
And I loved it. So obviously you already know it's way too long.
Yep.
You got to make that like 60 seconds.
Okay.
I'm telling you, that's all the time you got.
Okay.
That's all the time you got. So
They didn't get to the good stuff.
So as beautiful as your
Yeah.
girlfriend is,
Yep.
cut her out.
Out. Right out.
The Lee Harvey Oswald shit, cut it out. It's awesome. It's funny. Cut it out.
Okay.
Don't even be walking around. Just straight up. Just talk to the camera.
Yep.
You know. Maybe you could do the little transition to the other guy. Actually, as a matter of fact, that whole last part was good. Might need to clip it a little bit just to make it a little bit more concise, so that way it fits within 60 seconds. But yeah, if you can be more concise about how you talk at the beginning,
Yep.
about like why you should be on
Yep.
there and things like that, and then switch to like your other persona,
Right.
thing, that's great.
Okay.
They're gonna love that, but you just need to make it under 60 seconds because I promise you,
Yep.
if you
quick.
if you send that as it is, they're not even gonna let you start talking about Lee Harvey Oswald. They're gonna be like, why the fuck is this guy next to a staircase?
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
They might be like me and a little curious as to why you were holding a golf club the whole time.
Okay. Take that.
I thought you were about to beat the shit out of something.
I was gonna. I would have.
In the girlfriend.
In the outtakes.
Christina, no.
Never.
Oh shit.
All right.
That's good advice.
Well, what do
my
you
critique.
what do you think about
We'll
that
take that.
strategy of going in as a character of yourself? I don't think it's ever been done, and that was my idea. Because when I look like that guy, which I kind of do now, my hair's insane. You look old. You can kind of fake it, But I'm not like an old man. But
it's definitely.
Is that too much? Is that too ambitious?
No. People do that all the time. I mean, look what Ashley did. She pretended.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
pretended to be a social media manager.
Yes.
So it's not like too outlandish. It's not like you're doing a whole different voice
Right.
the whole time.
Yeah.
That was
Things
Derek's
like that.
whole
So
bit. He wasn't going to tell people he was a detective. And that he was
right.
Well, a lot of people
I
don't
even
say what
remember
they-
what he told.
He said he was a principal.
Oh yeah.
Really? Is that what it
Like a
was?
school
Okay. So yeah,
principal.
there you go. So Derek was a principal. Ashley was a social media manager. There's been a couple other people. Mostly the
Yeah.
cops do it.
Yeah. And
Frankie
lawyers.
Grande.
But
Yeah, mostly the cops
Yeah.
and the lawyers do it. Yeah, X told people he was a bartender.
he
know
was
how to make a fucking
too. Yeah.
Didn't know how to make a single drink. That's hilarious.
All right, last thing. I was doing this in the shower the other day because I was like, in your head, I'm like, all right, I get on the show. I have always had this plan. You're standing there waiting to go in. And they send me in the first 4 people. Good idea, bad idea, or impossible to actually work. I want to walk in the door with the 4 first people to go in and say, listen to me. This is the only time we're going to stand in this house, and we know nobody else has anything going on.
Let's make it on.
What if the 4 of us right now, at least for the first week or two, just lock in, call it the first 4 or the first and final 4, whatever you want to call it. We lock in for a few weeks. Let's just keep each other safe. If it grows into something bigger, yes, I certainly hope it does. And maybe we go all the way to the end. But for like 2-3 weeks, let's just keep each other safe. And then we'll see what happens. Too much, too hard to hit them with as they're already freaking the fuck out because they just walked in the Big Brother house.
I think that might be a little bit too much too soon. Conceptually, I think that idea is great.
Because this is our only moment.
I mean, shit, if you turned around and did it to me, I'd be like, fuck yeah. dude.
Lock in.
First alliance in the first couple seconds?
Yeah.
I'm in.
Right.
bro.
The
Sign me
fastest
up.
alliance ever.
Sign me up.
Fast 4.
The Fast 4.
The Fast 4. Yeah.
Fast and the Furious.
So I,
Called the F word.
the Fast and the Furious. Yeah.
They'll love it. I think they'll love it. Hashtag.
That'd be great. I mean, I would love that. But the only problem with that is I think, if I'm not mistaken, Devin in season 16 did that with the first 8 that walked in the door.
Oh, too many.
And yeah, it was quite
flimsy.
Yeah, too many, too fast. Some, people, if they're like huge fans of the show, they might be like, "Oh, this dude's playing too hard."
Yes, that's what I worry about.
Right.
So, and that could always backfire. Conceptually, I love it. I think it's great. I think that somebody that thinks you're playing hard is immediately going to go to the first person they gravitate to.
Yeah,
and be
this
like,
guy's fucking
"Look at
nuts.
this fucking idiot."
Yeah.
He tried to make an alliance.
Which one? They're like, just look at him. They got a mustache. The old guy. And I'm in the corner just with my
Dr. Phil
straw
over there.
with my little cup.
Dr. Phil tried to make an alliance.
Dr.
Yeah,
Phil.
for real.
It'd be funny though. America's quickest eviction.
That'd be great.
Keanu, we cannot thank you enough for your time. Honestly, you're a bad MFer. I'm so glad that you've come into our consciousness as just a person of DFW because you're a great dude.
Yep.
I'm super happy you won America's Favorite Player. The lady friend and I both voted for you, as did the majority of the damn USA. And please hit up anything you want to pub. I know you got the T-shirts coming out. You can pre-order those.
Yeah, look at that.
Hit that gym again too, because this dude's up in McKinney, and you can go get your shit together with Keanu showing you how to do it. Hit up whatever you like.
Yeah. So first of all, follow me on all socials. It's at Keanu Ray Soto on every platform except Twitter and X. I don't know who's impersonating me, but that is not the real Keanu Soto. So yeah, maybe block them or whatever. Report that for me. I got these T-shirts coming out, so pre-order it. I got them on my. Well, I don't know when this episode's gonna come out, but it's on my story at the moment. I'm sure I'll have it in my link bio. My link or link in my bio. Jeez. And the back of this, by the way, says, "I believe you have a prompt." So we'll have a bunch of shirts coming out. I know people are looking forward to the rain equals inevitable one. I know that was another line that people gravitated towards. And yeah, we got that cruise coming up January 26th through the 30th, going to the Bahamas out of I believe Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That'll be fun. I'm going to be at a Celebration. I believe it's Over the Edge or something like that. That's going to be in Orlando. Shit, I don't even remember when that is, but you'll see all that stuff on the link. I'm doing a lot of shit. So
Well, that's great.
Yeah, man. So thank you guys for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
You are now friend of Cirque.
Friend of Cirque.
Dude, yeah, you guys asked me to be on here. I'm here again, bro.
Cool, yeah.
I've had a lot of fun hanging out.
We
with
can
you guys.
come just bullshit too,
Yeah,
man. We
dude,
don't
not
have to
even
talk
Big Brother related.
No, exactly.
Hang out.
Yeah.
Let's talk kettlebell swings.
Hell yeah. I just want to hang out.
1000%.
All right, Keanu Soto, thanks for your time, brother. We'll see you again soon. Thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
watching.
Thank you. Okay, y'all are good.
Bloody Gulch.
Baseball.
Say